Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Eden Zero Chapter 74. So, before we get into anything else, we gotta talk about the ending and the way the fight between Weisz and Laguna was resolved, because it works on a couple different levels to be sure. First, by throwing Flame Sniper Fee into the mix, it shows us that even if it weirdly shows us that even if our heroes defeat one of the four elements, another is more than likely going to be waiting in the wings. Even though Weisz obviously isn't dead, the fact that he was shot immediately after defeating Laguna does add a sense of urgency to this situation going forward. In the sense where I don't want to compare it, where in the sense where if you defeat one of them. If you defeat one of them, another is more than likely, in order to take advantage of the another is more than likely to take advantage of the weaker of the fact that our heroes have weakened themselves in this fight and just kind of take them out from there. Secondly, again, even though it was a dirty and opportunistic, it further emphasizes that the four elements know how to use the situation to their advantage. On top of not nec- on top of that, though, with this fight, it's an interesting subversion in the sense where neither side was pretty much really granted a victory in this sense. There wasn't really a victory for either the Element Four or heroes in this sense. Like pretty much both got pretty much knocked out in one way or another. And and yeah, I just really like how this particular chapter, it really knew to emphasize the fact that that with the Element 4, there is a level of danger to this. There is an extreme level of danger to this. With the Element 4, the way obviously Dragon Joe, the way he obviously the way he operates his business is in the sense of a crime syndicate, and because of that, the Element 4 operate as I guess you could say capos or higher level members of that syndicate, and so they're in the sense where they're pretty much always alert, and they're always trying to take advantage of the weakness of their enemies. So our heroes. So it really puts into perspective that from this point on, our heroes are going to have to watch their backs, because at least as long as the Element 4 are still operational. With that said, let's talk about the fight itself, because I don't, and I didn't entirely get what I wanted out of it. Mainly Weisz using a lot more of his own intellect. Don't the battle in itself and what Weisz was doing. It was he was using a lot of his base intellect. I do like the sense. The one thing I will say about this fight is that I do like the sense of how evenly matched the fight played out, because there were so many times during this fight where you'd expect Weisz or Laguna in order to gain the upper hand on the other, but each time one of them gained ground in the fight, the other one had an equally impressive counterattack. And the best part about this fight is that, again, despite technically defeating Laguna, you could still say Weisz lost, because again, Weisz obviously defeated Laguna, but what Laguna, he basically, even though Weisz basically defeated Laguna and freed everyone, you could still, by all technical counts, say that Weisz still lost, because from what Laguna did, but by basically destroying Weisz's armor, and which nearly gave Fee the opening he needed in order to destroy the opening he needed in order to pretty much take Weisz out. So but in the sense of Laguna destroying Weisz's armor, it gave Fee the opening he needed in order to take him out. It was, in some respects, whether intentional or whether, well, I assume it was mostly unintentional, but in the sense of how this episode played out. It pretty much gave it gave feel it was like the perfect tag team, even if it was an unintentional tag team, because it was perfect teamwork, because Laguna, he destroyed Weiss's armor, and Fee delivered the finishing blow. Now now whether or not Fee could have done that even through Weiss's armor is obviously the bigger question. But yeah, it was like it wasn't really a win. It's one of those weird times where you can't say whether or not the fight in itself is really a win for either side. Really, like it was a loss for both in a lot of ways. And I kind of really respect that Mashima went that route of just kind of saying, yeah, no one wins in this situation. Like it is something I do kind of appreciate. Um, Now, obviously, like I said before, one of the big things with this chapter is we get the official introduction to the second member of the Element Four, the sniper known as Flame Sniper Fee, as I previously mentioned. And obviously I've talked a little bit about him already, but there's a few things more to say about his introduction. First off, within this chapter alone, he kind of proved my previous comment right of him being the strongest among the four, just from how fucking far away he fired the shot that took Weisz out, or at the very least, damn, it's definitely fair to say he's definitely a master marksman, to be sure, if he fired that far away. And and I don't know if, and to be fair, I don't think he's and to be fair, I don't and to be fair, he's probably like second. He's probably actually like the second strongest, but he's definitely. I think he's definitely proven he's one of the stronger. He's one of the stronger of the Element Four, to be sure. Um, I don't now. Now the other thing that now the other thing with this now the other thing with Fee's introduction is that, well, I don't think we're going to see our heroes fight Fee immediately starting next chapter. I do imagine it is going to build up to that of him being. I do imagine like next chapter, next couple of chapters at least, is going to build up to. It's going to build up to pretty much the confrontation with Fee, and when it does happen, I'm really hoping Shiki isn't the one to fight him. Like I want it. Like I really don't want Shiki to be the one in order to fight so soon after being saved. I want it to be Homura, or at the very least I want it to either be Homura or at the very least have them fight all together, or hell, surprise me and have Pino be the one to fight against them. I don't think that's going to be the case, but yeah, just I want a little bit of a mixer matchup here. I don't just want it to be like from Shiki fighting Fee and him taking them out. I want a little bit of a mix up here for sure. I think I think Mashima has the opportunity to do that, and I'm hoping he does do that. Um, but yeah, whatever happens next, I don't want Shiki being the focus so soon after being saved. Hell, even throw Rebecca in there and make it like a gun v gun battle. But yeah, Mashima, I'm basically kind of pleading to you here. Hold off on Shiki for a while longer. Now, going off my first point, one thing I got to give Mashima credit for is that now that I've gotten a closer look at Fee, it's clear the inspiration for his design came from Natsu and Sting, and I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of the Sting fanboys and fangirls out there, but I can already say I'm like just based on the similarities, I'm already kind of liking Fee a lot more than I did Sting. That's for damn sure. Natsu, it's hit or miss, but yeah, so I'm definitely liking Fee a lot more than just appearance wise. I'm liking Fee a lot more than I am Sting. Um, And obviously, the thing with this chapter too is that once again it hammers home that Weisz really needs to learn how to maintain his armor form for long periods of time. Otherwise, he'll come across more situations like the one he's currently in. So yeah, he needs to start using. So yeah, he needs to start using his brains a lot more in the sense of how his brains and his intellect more, in how to properly utilize the armor and disperse his ether in a way where he can where he can where he won't come across close calls like this, and he'll be able to make hell hell even go a step further and really find out if there's a way in order to make the armor stronger. But in either case, Weisz really needs to kind of like really start using his brain and really start to kind of see like, okay, how can I survive for longer periods of time, and how can I keep my armor on for longer periods of time? Because otherwise, yeah, he's going to die at some point or another. Um, but but yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and list your Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.